Hey guys, Steve here with the weekend update for July 12th, 2014. Before we get started, I just want to make sure everyone was receiving the weekend update. So if you have a tough time receiving, make sure that you're following me on StockTwits and Twitter, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Those will be where everything is posted. And then this way, everybody can access everything without a problem. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to email me and leave comments on the blog post or on the YouTube video itself, and I'll do my best to answer everyone. And this way, the information's out there. If you have questions for other people may have the same questions. So, guys, with that said, let's get started on the weekend update. What the market did last week. As you can see, it came back into the support area that we had identified previously, this resistance area, and also trendline support. For the week, we were down, I don't know how many points, but Friday obviously was a nice rebound. But as far as our positions go, we were actually up for the week. So let's take a quick look at our positions. So here are our positions that are in the paper money account. This will also be posted in the blog post. But as you can see, we're looking at approximately a 1.3 or 1.03% gain. The only position that was down since we've entered is Apple, and our overall profit and loss on a $100,000 account is $717. So this will actually be posted in the weekend update as well. But just to give you an idea of how we're going to go forward, this is set up in my paper money account. All my trading and charts are in my actual real account, so we don't get the watermark of the Thinkorswim watermark on all the charts. It makes it much easier to read and much easier for me to organize. So let's go through each position real quick. So the first one is Apple. This was the only position we're actually down in. We got filled right around this 96.19 level. It's really just consolidating above the breakout, probably waiting for either earnings to come or maybe next week it's going to make a move. But for right now, it's just consolidating, not really doing much. Nothing to do, nothing to adjust. ADM, nice strong move higher again on Friday after this bullish engulfing pattern. I know I called it a bearish engulfing pattern a couple times, but it's a bullish engulfing pattern, and now we have this nice move higher again, another 1% on Friday. So this one continues to move up. If we get a little bit more strength, we may be able to move our stop to this 45.95 level and lock in some gains. But as you can see on the weekly chart, we're really getting a nice breakout with earnings coming up. So I'd like to see where this can take us. It could very well take us to a little higher, maybe to this 48 or 49 level before earnings. But we don't have price targets. We'll see where it goes. AMT, another one that's up. Basically, since we entered here, this little poke above resistance at the time. That was our entry. We got a good fill with a weekday on the 8th, and now we're sitting at 91.64 from our entry. So again, we could see on the weekly chart we could potentially draw another consolidation area here, and again another breakout, which is always good to see. That's what we want to see. We always want to see breakouts. That means we're in the strongest stocks. Time Warner, we entered again, got a good fill because of a weekday, and we are up a little bit, not much. It's still basically sideways within this big breakout bar, so not much there. And the last one is Wyndham that we are in. Again, we got a good fill basically at the low of the day on the 10th. So again, three sideways bars essentially here. not much going on, but we are up because of our fill. So there were a couple of stocks that triggered last week. One was Baxter that we looked at. So with Baxter, we're really, we didn't take the trade because of the earnings. It could have been taken by some people if they desired, but for the model portfolio, we decided to pass. There were a couple that triggered on Friday, namely Amazon was one. Amazon, again, nice strong move above this consolidation area. We could adjust this trend line a little bit now to something more along those lines. And really, a breakout over 337 was what we were looking for, and 321 now is our stop. So we are actually going to take a position in this. The earnings are the 24th, which gives us just about 13 days until earnings from Friday's trigger. So we're going to actually take a position in Amazon. There's not many chances that you get to be long these high beta names. So, something similar that I look at is kind of how Netflix, which is not anywhere near a trigger, but Netflix had this reversal back down in here at this 342 level, and it ran all the way to 480. Not saying that Amazon is going to do that, but these high beta names, it's a potential. And, especially with a reversal like this, I mean, we could see Amazon obviously at 380 or 405, which is a great trade if we can get it there, or higher. So as you can see, we're really pushing back above this weekly trend line, and we broke the downtrend line. So there's a lot of good things that are happening in Amazon. So the next one that triggered was EQR, Equity Residential. As you can see, we're finally getting a move above this. It's a little breakout consolidation that happened after we broke out from a much larger consolidation. There was this smaller area here right around 63. So we are actually going to take a position in EQR. And, just to be conservative, our stop is going to be down around the 60, 67 area. As you can see on the weekly chart, we're getting a nice breakout, nice move higher along this weekly trend line, and earnings are not until 7:30. So with the entries in Amazon and EQR, that's going to max us out in our allocation, 35% allocation for financials and discretionary. The other one that triggered was Fidelity National. Fidelity National is actually a technology company. So we have room there to add to that sector in our portfolio. Again, we're getting similar to AMT, getting a small little poke above $55 or $55.41. So our stop for this one will actually be now this 53, we'll call it 53.50 level, which was the last swing low that we had. We don't really need to let it test the bottom of the box, because if we break this 53 level, we're also going to be breaking the trend line we have drawn, which would essentially mean that we're wrong. I'm trying to delete the drawing here. It doesn't want to work. So this is going to be our new I don't know where it is. So anyway, breakout over 55 excuse me, and we'll enter at 53. I'm sorry. And we're gonna, so our breakout over 55 will trigger an entry for Monday morning, and we will put a stop at 53, say 53.50. And again, earnings are not until the 29th. So we had 3 new entries that we will be adding to the portfolio. I will size those off, those positions, and include them in the spreadsheet that I have developed. But as you can see here, after earnings, after commissions, similar to what the other position statement had indicated, we're at $667 of actual profit. All right, so let's go through the actual watch list. Again, I went through each stock that was in the scan that we had talked about. If you don't know what's in the scan, please refer back to video 1. And some are from last week and some are new. So we're just going to go through these real quick. ADP was from last week. We got the breakout over 79.96 like we had wanted. But now we're looking for a breakout over that about 81 level, just because we've gone sideways. So AIG was one. It almost broke down, but the closes in the last 2 days really are above this 54.40 level, so that one will stay in the watch list. AON is a new one. AON, you could see here, we had a weekly breakout, and now we're having a nice small consolidation. So a breakout over 91.11 will put us long AON. American Express was one from last week. So again, still in the same consolidation, waiting for the breakout over 96.11 or 96.10. BDX is another one. You can see again we had a nice breakout from a consolidation, and now it's consolidating on the daily right above that breakout. So our alert over 120.26 will be our entry. This one, ETN, again, breakout from the weekly. Now it's consolidating again in this small box. So a breakout over 78.56 will be our entry. And you could see we could also most likely draw, I don't know what that is. That's something new. I've never seen that before. That little data box. That's cool. Sometimes they update this software more times than they tell you. Facebook, again, another high flyer here. Really sitting in this consolidation area. And we're looking at potentially another trend line there. And our price levels here and here. So again, a breakout over 68.13 would be a great entry for this. And then we could put our stop right under this 62 or 63 level. Corning had a consolidation on the weekly, broke out. Now it's excuse me, and now it's in a nice little box here. So again, a breakout over 22.37 would be a great entry, and again, a trend line is in there somewhere. We could draw a trend line, something like this maybe. A shallow trend line. Green Mountain Coffee was one from last week, still in that consolidation. GPC again, one from last week that remains. You can see how we bounced off that trend line in that consolidation, so that's a good sign. Harmon, we have this. This was the weekly. So you could actually see we are all breaking out. So, but this one was more as illustration purposes. So you could see exactly how. But look at this trend line here on the weekly. And how this stock, it made a nice advance, but then it took almost, I guess, 5 or 6 months. And it went sideways and came right back into that trend line, and now it's bouncing higher. So, I mean, this is one too bad we didn't have on last week. We would have entered, but that's a good one to just keep watching. Honeywell, again, one from last week. Over 95.58 is our entry. HST, Host Hotels. We've got a nice small consolidation area here. So breakout over that 22.78 level would be the entry. IVZ, something along those lines. Again, a nice weekly consolidation breakout recently, and we're just kind of moving sideways right above that. Nordstrom, nice strong move, gap higher. Now we're looking at this box level here. KeyCorp, which was one from last week. You can see that this trend line is really... That's why I couldn't find my delete drawing. It's because they updated the software. It used to say delete drawing, now it says remove drawing. Anyway. So you can see that trend line was no longer valid, so maybe we're going to just move sideways until we come into this trend line. See what happens, but our alert is intact. Kimberly-Clark wants to break out, but it's got that 112, 113 area it's got to deal with first. Kraft is a new one. Kraft is recently spun off, but again, there's your little box. A break over 60.55 is a good entry. Lilly, let's remove all the drawings. So we had a nice sideways move here. Nice trend line. Now it looks like we're coming right back into that trend line. So see how again it moved sideways, hit the trend line, is now moving higher. Here's our new little box for Lilly. So move over $63 would start to push this towards an entry. LMT, again from last week, just moving sideways. See what happens with it. Lincoln, we got a nice big consolidation area on the weekly chart here. So I'll move over 53, and then here's our daily little consolidation right in this range. See what happens with it. Southwest Air, it's been a strong move higher. We were actually in this with the old model portfolio, so we would probably still be in this. But you could see here, I mean, it hasn't stopped since this weekly breakout here at 14. It's now at 27. So you can see how important those and how powerful those weekly breakouts are, and that's why we look for them. So here's our consolidation. That little box there, breakout over 27, 71 would be our entry. Again, nothing really to do on Macy's. Microchip, nice little consolidation here. We'll see where that takes us. MCK from last week, again just in that consolidation area, really consolidating right below weekly resistance. So we'll see what happens there. Mondelez has been trying to break out. It had this nice push higher. I thought we were going to get an entry on it, and then ended up closing back within the range. So for now, still moving sideways. Doesn't have enough juice to keep it above that 38, 33 level. Until it does, we will sit on the sidelines. MetLife, again, you could see this weekly consolidation, and now we're getting a little daily consolidation here. So over 57.13 would be the entry on that. MMC, Marsh & McLennan, nice weekly channel higher. I mean, this is an extremely tight, and that's only $1 wide consolidation area. So, you know, if we got an entry on that, we might just drop it down a little bit just to widen it out a little bit. MMM, again, same thing. Sideways consolidation for now. Merck, same thing, still in sideways consolidation. Microsoft, remove these drawings. Microsoft had a little weekly box here, and now we're sitting in this tight consolidation area there between 40.68 and 42.23. Earnings are coming up, but that's a good little entry if we can get it in Microsoft. Motorola, close to breaking the bottom of the box, but for now still intact. Could potentially want to test this lower area of the weekly box at 63. Couple more here, guys. Northrop Grumman, again moving sideways, not much to do. Nvidia moving sideways, not much to do. Pitney Bowes moving sideways, not much to do. So, I mean, as you can see, I mean, this is the great thing about having a plan and going through it every weekend is, you know, we know exactly what we're doing and when we're doing it. There's really no reason to pull an audible during the week and try and change things up. We know exactly what we're supposed to do, where we're entering, and we know where we're exiting before we even get in the trade. So having a plan is essential to becoming a more consistent trader. I used to be the kind of guy that, you know, this week would have got me all turned around. I would have been stopped out on, what was it, Thursday? There was a day it was down a lot, only to be buying back on Friday. So this system, this using closes as our triggers, for me is essential. I mean, I couldn't be as consistent as I am if I didn't have that little tool in my, and that's what gives me an edge. That's my edge, you know, is that my personal accounts, my oldest position is 180 days. So I've been in a position for 180 days, and that's fine with me. You know, sitting 25% up, and I'll be in it for another 180 days if it can give me another 25%. But when it stops working, that's when we exit and we take the winner. So there's going to be a lot of small losers and big winners is really the name of this game. So Prologis, again, moving sideways, not much to do. PNC had this weekly breakout recently. Now it's sitting and consolidating above it. So there is our little daily consolidation. Earnings look like they're maybe Monday or Tuesday, so we didn't get a trigger. We'll see what happens. Public storage, really moving sideways. This nice big weekly consolidation sitting right below previous resistance area. So if this can move over 174, it can have some legs because now a lot of buying has taken place in this box. So, you know, if you get a breakout over resistance, you could be fairly confident that that breakout may not fail because buyers have accumulated in this level. It's not like people bought down here and now they're looking to sell it up here. Qualcomm, again, sideways, not much to do. Sealed Air, 34.87 is our breakout. St. Jude, close to breaking out. Had that real nice, it tried to on, I guess, what was that, Monday maybe? The 7th. Didn't work, but still moving sideways. Stryker, still moving sideways, testing the bottom of the box. TWX shouldn't be in here because we have that as a position already. UMP, same thing, nice tight little box. And let's see if we can get a push over 102.25. UPS sideways 104.28 is our breakout level. Here is US Bancorp. So there's our box. Tested the bottom of the box a couple times successfully. Now we're looking for a breakout over, let's say, the 44 level. VF Corp, again, moving sideways, breaking that trend line that we had drawn, but again, still in consolidation. Possibly wants to test the bottom of that box at the $60 level. And again, XOM moving sideways, not much to do. So as you can see, guys, these are our stocks for the week. Basically, a lot of them are setting up just the same setup that we always look for. And until they trigger, that'll be what they'll just be in a watch list. And then once they trigger, if they trigger, they'll move over into a position. So I will enter positions in Amazon, Fiserv, and I'm sorry, not Fiserv, Fidelity, and Equity Residential. Just make sure I'm not giving you the wrong information. Yeah, Fidelity, Equity Residential, and Amazon. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the weekend update, and I hope these weekend updates are, kind of helping you develop a plan, and especially that you could see how I trade and see how we're trading in the mono portfolio. I hope that it helps you guys in the long run. So, guys, have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you on Monday for the strategy session and the free trade idea. Take care.